Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Delise, also known as Stamprgrl, and I'm here for Kraftin Kimmie. I am a guest designer for the months of June and July, and today I'm using the Summertime set, which is a Krafty Comeback, and I'm making a rocker card. Here is the set. There is also an ice cream, layered stencils, which I'll be using in a different project. I am going to be using the sand castle for my card, and I'm actually using a very light blue that I'm going to stamp multiple times. I'm conditioning my stamp. You can use either your finger or a white rubber eraser. And the reason I'm using this ink is because I am actually doing a kind of like a technique where I am going to make the lines a little bit fussy. So if I were using a hybrid ink, they wouldn't move. But you could also do this, stamp it with the Kraftin Kimmie hybrid inks, and then bring just regular ink to watercolor the image. I am adding a little bit of water to what I smear ink from my ink pad to my glass mat. I'm bringing a paintbrush. This is a round paintbrush. This is like a number 2. This is the way I control the water on my watercolors. And it is dabbing my hand instead of dabbing on a paper, because dabbing on a paper, I still don't know how much water that paper towel just grabbed out of my paintbrush. So this way I know how much water and how wet or how dry my paintbrush is. So you'll see me dab it into my hand multiple times, and that's just technique that I use. I am going to be doing a monochromatic look on this castle, and you'll see me just add more water, add more ink, just in a mix to create highlights and lowlights for this. But it's a super easy image to color, super fast. You could do this in multiple colors. I am just deciding that I wanted to see a monochromatic look. I love monochromatic cards. They are a love of mine, so you'll see me do a few probably during my stay as a guest designer for Kraftin Kimmie. So Kraftin Kimmie is having this release. They are going releases one every other month. So this is the month of the release. They're having 4 sets and 2 stencils, and they are phenomenal. So there's 2 new sets, and there's 2 Krafty Comebacks. So wait until you see our next one. They're just, as always, amazing sets. They stamp fabulously. If you don't condition your stamp, it will still stamp very nicely. I do love the look of this. I should mention that I am not using a watercolor paper. If you use a watercolor paper, the colors would be moving a lot easier. But I wanted a very soft look. I wanted something fast, and this is why I did this. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to tap everything to try a technique. You don't have watercolor paper, just try it anyway. See how it looks, and just remember that watercolor is just less is more. So go little by little. Don't add too much water. And if you want to learn how to know how much water you have in your paintbrush, you can do the technique that I do, where I dab and check to see how wet my paintbrush is against my hand. We are almost done with this coloring in here. I will end up fussy cutting this image. I am actually doing, and I love how this turned out, just little dabs, and they kind of look like additional bricks on the castle, which I thought it was super cute, and it gives it a lot of depth to this image. And now after I fussy cut it, I've been looking at my die cuts, and I really like this one. I wanted to use it, so here I am. I am using pretty old papers. These are from KI Memories. They're called Summer Fun, and they are, I believe, 8x8, and they're all like super summer fun backgrounds, bright, but kind of an initial color palette. There's oranges, there's like a light blue, there's a lime green, there's multiple shades of pink, which I adore, and then some yellow in there, like a really bright yellow. end up die cutting two of the patterns because I wasn't sure which of the two. I kind of like the flower pattern because it was light and airy, but the one that is a busy background, I just adore the colors. So I end up using the typography one, and I am so happy I did. I am coming in with a 4¼ by 11-inch piece of cardstock, and now you'll see me mark where that fold is in that die cut, and that's where I'm actually going to fold the base of my card. But don't worry, because you'll still see the full shape of my card when the card is finished. So this is just to create the actual body of the card, and we're going to position the die cut just where I marked it. I'm going to put pieces of tape to make sure that it doesn't slip and it's straight on the top. And it's okay that my die cut is, above it, because you want that part that doesn't get cut. And I want to make sure that this is covered at the end. And I'm going to use my metal, intricate metal plate just so I can cut through both layers. And look at this. It's just perfect. Okay, we're coming back. We're going to cut now the front of the card, which is the same material, the same cardstock that I use for the actual card base. And you are just going to cut it once, and this will get glued to this card body. Here I'm just going to glue the card front that we just die cut it to the card body, which has that fold on the top. And this is going to make sure that we have the shape. We do not lose the shape. And I love it. I love this little trick. It works super fine. Make sure that you do press nice, because this is a heavy cardstock. See, there's my fold, and it's just perfect. Here is my layered pattern paper, and I still haven't decided which of the two, so you'll see me flip and flop between them. I end up picking the typography type of background because I just love how busy but how calm the image is. So it's a great give and take for them. I am bringing some of the some summertime stamps, and I'm going to stamp in all around my little front. And this is the cute little fruits that are a part of this set. It has a raspberry, some blueberries, and I believe a strawberry. And I'm just using the same light blue ink that I use as when I stamped the castle. Do notice that I am just stamping on the all around the border, because that's the only part that actually is going to be seen once I put my pattern paper on it. Okay. So I'm not even going to bother anything else. I am making sure that I cover everything. So it's super cute. I love that little blue into it, but I wanted a little bit something more stark. So I will come with a little bit of white acrylic and do a few splatters. And that's what you see me do next here with my bleed proof acrylic ink. It's just a little bit of like it's like a thick consistency, and you just add water, and then you just splatter all around it. Easy peasy, and it's super opaque. So if you want to try this, it is by Dr. P.H. Martin's. They are fabulous. The leftover ink from that bleed proof acrylic ink, I'm using it to just create some highlights on my castle. Again, this is pretty opaque, and it's just a beautiful way to add highlights. Let's put it all together. Here is my splatter and stamp background, my pattern paper. I'm telling you, I'm still debating until the last second before I pick which of the pattern papers I want, because they're both so nice. And here I am gluing this. I'm going to glue my image, and all of this, you'll notice that I am absolutely unaware that I just glued the pattern paper and my image upside down on my card, because I did not check. So I'm going to keep going. I am, again, completely innocently unaware of what's going on. I am picking the some summertime sentiment for my card. I will be stamping it on a little bit of a scrap of the same craft cardstock and just do a little bit of inking on the edges. Then I decide to do ink edges on all the card, which I really like how it turned out. And again, just adding and playing. Here it is, everyone, where I realized that I glued everything upside down. And I wish you could hear my sigh of frustration. But I don't let it win over me. I'm like, you know what? So then I'm making you a rocker card. I am making you an easel rocker card. So I am making a fold with my little EK Success tool. And there you go. Look, as easy as that. Suddenly it's now an easel card and it rocks. So we ended up with even a better format of a card. Isn't it fun? You see? There are no errors, just opportunities. Remember, if you like the contents in my YouTube channel, I will hope that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And remember, don't leave your crafting for tomorrow. Start today and make sure that you check all the new products on this new release that they come down on June 15th. Okay, bye.